name's Joellen Harr. I teach secondary English language arts, mostly 10th grade and 11th grade. I've been teaching for 9 years.
Today we're going to be working on eventually completing a Collins Type 5 writing, which is perfection in your writing. In other words, having a publishable piece just in case you ever might want to publish it. In 11th grade, what we've been working on is civil disobedience and a comparison between that and Henry David Thoreau and Martin Luther King Jr.'s writings and how King was influenced by Thoreau. So right now we should have a draft of our paper. So that
Type 5s that I used in both 10th grade and 11th grade, it seems to fall naturally within English because English is where we are perfecting the craft of reading and writing. For the 11th graders, their Type 5 writing that they did was speech and analysis as well, and they may use that in their future college careers. I actually told them to hold on to those papers because they were college level papers, and who knows when they might use them as well. So what we did in the classroom is usable outside of the classroom, and so it was prepared for the real world essentially.
Okay, getting to a Collins Type 5 paper, we're going to start with a Collins Type 3, which is self-revising for FCAs. You guys should have your papers printed from what you've been working on with the civil disobedience and the letter from Birmingham jail. So please get those papers out now. Print them now if you need to print them. I'm going to come around and check those. Collins Type 3, self-revised for FCAs. In other words, I want you to take a moment and look over your own paper because
you can see Mrs. Harr is building to a Type 5 by starting her students with a Type 3 writing assignment. Although you don't have to do this, sometimes teachers begin by asking students to focus on a few specific skills before trying to make it perfect.
Next part of what we are doing is the Collins Type 4. Now, if you take a look at the instructions I gave you, it says, read your paper out loud to a peer, and the peer should critique as follows, and this is what you're going to do in just a second. The peer, whoever has the paper, needs to highlight the thesis. They're going to check to make sure they can find your thesis. They also need to highlight the tie-in to the thesis in each paragraph. Well, how do you know if it's tied in or not? There are key words that may be repeated, key ideas that may be repeated that are part of your thesis. Another thing that I want the peer to highlight in your paper, you need to go through any spelling, grammar, punctuation, sentence flow, style issues, awkward or confusing parts. If you see anything like that, highlight it. If something's not making sense, highlight it. Okay, so get with a partner, get with someone that you're close by, and work with them, exchange papers, read papers out loud so you can hear the flow, so you can hear the sentence structure. And Nathan needs to work with somebody over there. Or someone needs to come to you, actually. Okay, good. And I'm going to come around and spy on you guys and see how you're doing. So first task is to read out loud.
Mrs. Harr is going one step further by turning her Type 3 into a Type 4 writing assignment. This means students aren't simply checking their own papers for the FCAs. Now they have a student partner focusing on those same areas. This extra set of eyes is intended to provide the writer additional feedback before the teacher revises it.
What they want.
Like, it's fine until
King was influenced by Thoreau.
down there, because that's where I got confused. Because you make it sound like it's one instead of two.
The papers took about 3 weeks for each class. They were reading college level essays, which were anywhere from 10 to 20 pages long, and getting information from both. The revisions were peer revisions at least twice. Teacher help with the revisions. In the process, at least once and then a final revision. So I would say total overall maybe about 4 revisions between peers and teacher with assistants, and then them reviewing it themselves. So outside help 4 times, however many times they looked it over, depending on what they needed to get correct. I was probably seeing what they were doing on a daily basis.
Collins Type 5s are known as the papers that never die. That's because unlike Type 3s and 4s that focus on a few FCAs, Type 5s need to be perfect in every aspect. Typically, they're being read by an authentic audience above and beyond the classroom. So students will help one another revise and edit multiple times, and the teachers will usually conduct multiple one-on-one conferences too. That's why we say, if you're going to assign a Type 5, make sure there's a real need or purpose, because perfection is difficult to achieve.